Hola gente. Oh, what just happened there? Didn't realize I was moving. Hey, hello people. Let me swing that over. Oh boy. Okay. August the 3rd. This is August 3rd today. I wanted to make this video right now because, man, my heart is pounding a little bit. I wanted to, as always, capture the moment when the emotions are high. So there's no sort of coming back in hindsight, just telling it, from memory. I just wanted to talk about it when it is right now, and I'm a little excited and afraid. Definitely more afraid than excited. I just spent $4,000 on a course, and that sounds all good and everything in reality, but I mean, it's scary because it's day trading. It's a day trading course. And now, before you go crazy on me, before you go like, oh, Diego, this is that, and scam, and blah, and chances, and this, and statistics, and blah, 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 hear me out. Because a lot of thought went into this decision. I've been into this for the past, for a few months that I've been looking at it. And I just finally pulled the trigger right now. I am not someone that makes decisions hastily. I have to always be almost near 100% right that I'm, or close to it, at least 85% right that I'm going to be satisfied with the decision before I jump into it. But basically, man, it was such a difficult decision because it was such a large amount of money. And it is and it isn't, because it isn't because it is in US dollars and it was only really around $3,000. It is because I live in Canada, and that immediately upped my price by $1,000 because of the conversion, just with the Canadian dollar. So for myself, it's a lot of money. Now I'm not going broke. I do have leftovers that I have, so I'm still green on my account. It's just a lot of money. I don't think I've ever spent that much in one go. Man, I feel like now I just have to justify it because I can't really go back. Well, I have a 14-day money back guarantee, but that's not the point. I'm not the kind of guy that goes in and just, refunds money for things, because I definitely, if I made the decision, it wasn't to try it, it was to go along with it. But yeah, I mean, obviously, there were a million other courses to look into. There were other options that I had. But at the end of the day, it really boiled down to, how serious am I about this? And how much time am I willing to spend digging through the weeds and the rocks, trying to figure it out by myself, when there's already someone that has done most of the work for me, and that it's really good at explaining it. Why reinvent the wheel? And obviously they're charging a premium for it because they have done all that work. So it's scary because it's not like, you're paying a course into like woodworking and then you come out of it and you have an actual skill that you have. I mean, yes, it is kind of like that. You'll have a bit of a skill, but the actual risk involved in this particular activity, which is day trading, is quite high. 9 out of 10 day traders fail. So what makes me think that I'm gonna be one of the successful ones? Well, I'll tell a little bit of as to why I'm interested in this and why I chose this path. So, well, I mean, for a while I've just been kind of sick and tired of my work, really. I've been almost 5 years in there, and I just feel stuck. I've been trying to get out. I've been looking at different things, and this whole time, people have been asking me, well, why don't you go to school? Why don't you go or back to school? Really, why don't you try this or try that? And I always knew that whatever I kind of put my time into, I usually will do well. But the problem is like, how long am I gonna be doing it? Like that particular activity, because yeah, I can be good at something, but do I want to be doing it every single day? And how much time do I want to put in to get good at that one thing and then really not be into it? So this past few years, well, more than 5 years really. It's been like 6, 7 years when I've been sort of bouncing here and there. It's been a challenge trying to figure out myself and to figure out my life and where I want to go. And there wasn't really anything that caught my attention, saying that I really want to do this. Like this really is something that fascinates me. And that was until I really discovered trading stocks and trading, and I knew a little bit about investing, but never really into as much as a day trader kind of a career or job, if you want to call it. And money is definitely a factor. As far as the ceiling, I didn't want to be locked down. Because in the previous videos I talked about this. I mean, sometimes I've been working 120 hours, 130 hour pay periods, and I get paid per hour. Like, I'm not getting paid by how much I perform. I get paid by how much time I put in there. And whether that's quality time or that's crappy time, I can still get paid the same amount per hour. And I'm kind of tired of just getting someone to dictate how much am I worth versus me being able to learn a skill and my skill dictate how much money I can make. So that's number one. It was just getting sick and tired of the routine and the ceiling that is being put on me. The most important aspect of why I started looking into it is because I am a very intuitive, analytical person. I'm not a I don't want to say a nerd because it's not the right term. Like I'm not there sitting and looking at numbers and being fascinated with numbers and things like that. But what fascinates me is patterns. It's being able to, getting into something and see what the dynamic between one thing and another and how that one thing affects the rest of the chain and how you can take advantage of it. It's actually kind of what I do on my day-to-day job. I'm a customer service manager, and my entire job, essentially the whole day, aside from managing my team, is getting into conversations with people and being able to sell them and to help them out whenever they need help. But that entire process, I have an entire mind map in my head of, if I say this, you're gonna say that, and then we're gonna go down this chain, and if you don't say this, we can have 2 or 3 other different options. And it's an entire pathway of just structure and analyzing. I am not a very emotional person or sensitive person, I guess, if that's the right word, where I don't go so much by emotion on how I do things. Is really everything is structure for me. Everything I plan it in order. I'm gonna do my bed and then do breakfast and then do this and do that, but everything has a chain. Everything has its own, and sometimes I don't always follow it, but that's the way I think. Everything has its own pattern, its own order of operation. You can get from point A to point B by going whichever way you want, but the fastest way is going to be to go from here to here. So that's kind of what I'm into. So when I started looking into day trading, I started looking into the sort of the skills necessary. I looked into that. I was like, well, hey, this looks kind of interesting. This looks fun as well, because you get quite a bit of an adrenaline rush just going through it. At the same time, the biggest thing that hit me was, this plays right into my strengths, into something that I find fascinating for myself, which has always been finding patterns, taking advantage of them, being able to recognize and predict. And not always you're going to be right, but if you're 60% right most of the time, then I get that enjoyment of I was right. So anyway, so that's what got me into it. And the more I started researching and the more I started looking at other people doing it, the more I wanted to be involved, the more I wanted to be doing it. And I completely understand the risks. I'm trying to stay as humble as I can. I'm just trying to keep realistic goals on myself and being like, Diego, you're gonna put in $2,000 and your entire goal is just to maintain those $2,000 for the next 6 months. Obviously after we trade in a simulator and do all this studying and everything, but that's my initial goal. It's don't think about making money, because you're not gonna make money. Just think of staying afloat, think of surviving, just put in the screen time. And then after that, my goal would be if I can just make, $120, $150 a day, which is in comparison to what other people are making, if I can just do that, I am replacing my entire income. And trading, because I live in Vancouver, starts at 6:30 in the morning and it ends at 1 o'clock. If I can replace my income, even if it's not like that much, but if I can replace it, if I can finish by 1 o'clock, I am getting back my entire afternoon. Right now I'm finishing work at 5:30, 6. I get home, I'm extremely mentally tired. I'm upset, and obviously a bunch of negative emotions are just stressing me out. Like, I see this more for gaining time back. Like, I'm gaining so much time back. If this goes well, I can completely understand that this thing can just completely go the opposite way. But I got faith in myself, honestly. That's kind of part of the reason why I pulled the plug on this, because it's a great product. And for those actually wondering what it is I got the Warrior Trading Pro course. Thankfully at a discount, because otherwise normally it's like $7,000, and I got it close to about $3,000 off. It's a great course, great teacher, down to earth from what I've been seeing, real. Again, I'll know more once I actually start going through the course, but that's first appearances. But that's it for me. It's like I'm looking for a change, something that I can enjoy, something that I can regain back my life, my time, and go from there. Something I wanted to mention here is, right, so one of the biggest things that why it took me so long to actually do this is I'm always very conscious as far as falling into the trap of the mentality that I guess I could say myself or my current generation, not sure, I'm gonna say the current generation, the mentality that we want everything instantaneous, and the mentality that you're gonna get something by buying it. See, if you buy a book on leadership, you don't become a great leader by buying the book. You become a great leader by reading the book and applying the concepts within the book over a long period of time until they're proving successful. That's how it works. Yet most of us, consciously or unconsciously, kind of expect the opposite. We think that if I buy this, it's like immediate guaranteed success. It's going to work because I'm buying that. And that's the higher the price, the more I feel like it becomes true as far as that thought. So I was very, very aware of telling myself, don't buy this for the wrong reasons. Don't buy this course because you think that by buying that course you're gonna come out of the gates 3, 4, 6 months down the road being an expert and just making a ton of money, quitting your job, and then going to the Caribbean. Like, those are the wrong reasons and very unrealistic, and it's most likely not gonna happen. And I'm thinking that thought would have come from the idea that I'm gonna finish that course and this is what's gonna happen. Wrong expectations. So I was really holding myself back because I didn't want to go into it, especially with this amount of money, with the wrong expectations and the wrong ideas. I'll be honest, that thought hasn't completely gone away. If I were to give it a range, I would say it's 80% realistic, 20% dreaming, and I feel like to a certain extent, that's a healthy amount. I feel like we all need to dream, we all need to have faith, hope, because otherwise, what's the point of doing anything? I mean, if you can't dream a little, if you can't have faith that things are gonna go well, why would you take the step to begin with? Like, there's no point. So I feel like I got it down to a point where it is a healthy amount of dreaming and vision and hope, and the rest is solid logic and reasoning for me to be able to take the step. That money that I had saved, it was just sitting there. I had it, I was thinking to myself that I was going to be investing it into a long-term portfolio. So I started justifying it, saying, you know what, it was gonna get invested into something anyways. And always I tell myself the best investment is in yourself. You know, I could have taken that money then and bought items, TV, whatever you call it, and it wasn't gonna get me any further in life right now. I could have also kept expanding that amount of money and placed it down into my first home on an apartment, put it down as a down payment. But in the short term of things, or even in the long term, that wasn't gonna change me fundamentally from who I am. It wasn't gonna be teaching me anything, and it wasn't gonna be really doing anything on that aspect. So after really grappling with myself back and forth, and try and look at it from different perspectives. Sorry. Whoa. I finally pulled the plug. I finally told myself, you know, you are the best education, really, or the best investment that's worth putting into. So yeah, so I feel like, because I bought it and then I turned the camera on because I wanted to record it right away. So the emotions are still very present. I feel like I've calmed down. My heart rate has definitely gone down back to normal. I'm collected now, I'm calm. I think this has really helped me just to sort of get myself in control. And yeah, just wanted to share that. It's a big purchase, you know, it's education. I feel like that money couldn't go either way, and I feel like at the end of the day, if worse comes to worse and I lost $4,000, you know what, in the grand scheme of things, 2-3 years from now, that's nothing. That I'm gonna be able to recuperate that money, just what I'm doing right now. And that's okay. I mean, it's gonna be maybe a scar that's gonna be on me, and it's gonna hurt, or you know, leave a trace. But I feel like even then, I am gaining more than what I'm losing, because it's education. And you know, you gotta shoot for the moon, baby. You gotta shoot for the moon, and maybe hopefully you'll fall in the stars. I'll fall higher than where you are right now. I feel like at this point, I don't want to say anything, but at this point, based on everything that I've been looking at, it's the only thing that's really gotten me excited to start putting my time into, and that was a key thing that I was looking for. It was something that I knew that I wanted to do for myself, because if I didn't feel like I wanted to do it, I wasn't going to be putting in the time and the effort that it deserves. Any other course, any other path, you know, like marketing and business and stuff like that, I just knew I wasn't going to be giving it my 100% because I wasn't really that into it. I would have been disciplined, hopefully, because I had to, not so much because I want to, and I would have tried to just talk myself into it more than actually just naturally being pulled towards it. So anyways, been chatting for like 20 minutes now, so stay safe. Stick to the times that we have right now. Stay humbled, and that's it for now. We'll see where this goes. Peace out.